All right, so we've had some time now towing our RV with this new Ram. Overall, there's a lot I really like about this truck. Good power, it's comfortable, and honestly does a lot of things well. But there's one thing about this truck that drives me crazy, and I'll be honest, had I known how much it would bug me, I might have thought twice about buying it. So in this video, I'm going to share the good, the bad, and whether I'd actually buy this truck again for RV towing. So this is my very dirty 2026 Ram 3500 Bighorn Edition night shaded package, forged metallic blue in color. And the only reason I know the color is because I looked at the sticker a while ago right before I come outside, because everybody asked me, what color is that truck? And I'm like, well, it's between navy blue and purple. So, but more navy than purple.
It's not purple.
I've had lots of questions since we went from Big Booty Judy, not Big Booty Judy, Double Wide Debbie, the white truck, to this one that is not named yet. We're working on a name, I guess, maybe, I don't know. If I name it, I'll probably sell it. So I'm gonna try not naming it, then maybe I'll keep it. But a lot of people have asked me, what do you think of your new Dodge? What do you think of the 26 with the new transmission? What do you think of all the things on it? And so I just wanted to do a quick update video, kind of go through the good, the bad, the problems I've had, because I've had a few. And we're just gonna kind of show you around. So as you can see, besides it being disgusting, it's not really, it's not disgusting, it's just dirty. It looks a whole lot like my other truck, just a different color. A couple of different things about this one than the 24 is I do have adaptive cruise control, which is nice. And I know some of you guys are gonna be like, will you use your cruise control? Yes, I do. And I use adaptive cruise control too, because I'm lazy and I like it that way. That's probably the biggest option difference that it has, besides my other truck was 24. For those of you that's been around for a while, you've seen that truck, but my 24 was standard output with the 68 RFE transmission. Now the 25s and 26s is basically just a high output engine with the new Z-Force or Z-Torque, whatever it is, 8-speed transmission. So I will say that's probably been the biggest question I've gotten is on the transmission, and does it make a difference? Yes, it shifts a lot smoother. And on my 68, I think it was either from 3rd to 4th or 4th to 5th, it had a big jump in gear, and it's like when the torque converter would lock up and it had a real hard shift, and then it would shift kind of lazy after that. This truck doesn't do that. I'm gonna show you something that they did on these. You wanna jump in on the other side, Val? So one of the biggest difference between this truck and my other truck is this big screen here in the middle. And I have a love-hate relationship with this thing. And I'm gonna say it like Ron Burgundy says it. 50% of the time, it works 100% of the time. Because this thing will lock up occasionally, and my maps will quit working, and I have to reset it. It's very, very frustrating. So if you have an iPhone and you have a Uconnect, put in the comments below, are you guys having trouble with them as much as I am? Because it's really a pain. It really makes me mad. It makes me not, I would almost get rid of this truck over that, but not really. But other than that, I mean, it looks like every other Dodge made between 2019 or 2020 to 2026. Seats are still really comfortable. I do think the seats are more comfortable than the Chevrolets. I think Valerie would agree with me on that.
Yeah, for sure.
She said, yeah, for sure. She's behind the camera. I think this truck rides a little better than my other one. I got enough weight on this truck that when I hook my fifth wheel to it, it squats a little bit, and it kind of makes it ride actually pretty good. Stereo wise, probably one of the best stereos I've ever had in a factory vehicle. I will say that. So let's talk about issues I've had with this truck. So I got on some of the forums when I bought it, and a lot of people said there was issues with the fuses not being seated, and they were causing some electrical issues. So the first thing I did when I got this truck home was pushed all my fuses in, and they went in a little bit. Whether that's a thing or not, I don't know. I just read that on Facebook, so it must be true. So I tried that. As far as electrical issues, I really haven't had any. I've had a recall on this thing with the brake module controller light doohickey thing. And before all you Ford people pile in on me, you guys had the same recall, so don't say anything. Apparently, Ram and Ford buys their same modules from the same guy, and they got some bad ones. So just take that, Ford people. I had another recall for some electrical thing, and then I did have a high pressure DEF nozzle something or another go bad, and that would only go off when I filled my DEF tank all the way up. That's been fixed. And outside that, that's like the only issues I've had with this truck. So I bought it in December. I've got roughly 11,500 miles on it. So we are driving this truck. Pretty much only pull the camper with this truck. I don't really drive it much. That's what my $10,000 Toyota Camry's for, is to put miles on, and it's way easier to get around in. The only thing I've done to this truck that's not factory wise is I did put on the roll-up bed cover, which I really like. I got that from eTrailer. And then I put on the power step boards also got from E-Trailer. So I really like those two options. Other than that, and tinting the windows, I haven't done anything to this truck. But I will show you one thing that Ram did. All right, let's not give Ram the credit. Cummins did, that makes life so much easier. So on these new trucks, like I try to do most of my service myself, or if I don't change oil in something, I'll take it to my buddy's shop and then he and I will change oil in it. Cummins did us a favor. They put the oil filter right here on top. So this unscrews and there's a paper cartridge filter that goes in there. And this is so much better than it used to be, because used to, you had a spin-on filter right above the front axle here, and there was no way to get that thing out of there unless you bought one of those cap screw-in things that if you guys got a last gen Dodge, you know what I'm talking about, to keep from dumping oil all over your front axle. 100% massive improvement. And then they did us one other solid. I'll show you this. One other thing they did is they put the fuel filters on top. They're in there. Your water separator and your fuel filter are in there. So also on top. So I did a fuel filter change, and I will tell you, just based on my experience, these are a little harder to get the air out. I know the electric pump is supposed to self-prime. I changed filters. I was getting some hard starts with it. I actually immediately drove to the Ram dealer and had them do it, and I got the same hard starts. I just don't think I got the air out of them. So I drove it to Talona Ridge to meet up with our base camp members, and after a 5-hour drive, it seemed like the air is out of the system. So just saying, you know, when you change your filters, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he said, leave your fuel filter housing caps loose and wait for them to pump up and hear all the air come out of them. When they start to weep, tighten them down. Next fuel filter change, I am going to do that. Pro tip, stealing that from my brother-in-law. If you're buying filters for these, the oil filter especially is a little hard to get. Gino's Garage, not sponsored, it's less than half the price than what you'll pay for it at the Ram dealer. So just look up Gino's Garage. They have the Fleet Guard filter, which is the same filter you buy from Mopar for your oil filter, and it's literally less than half. So you're welcome. This video is sponsored by our friends over at Liquefied, and we were talking about Liquid Shine. So when you get to the campground and your old rig looks like a dirty old turd, all you need to do is get that lint off there, or that dust, that pollen, and you can just polish this old turd right up. And it's just about that easy. Two step. One step with the rag to apply it, another drying rag, and this old turd looks good. This stuff will work as good on your truck as your camper. Let's be honest, they're both turds that need polishing, so sometimes you just got to do it. And if you're wondering why I'm talking about turds, it's because this is sponsored by Liquefied. Other than that, you know, it's been a good truck. I will say we're going to tow with it this weekend. We're getting ready to go to Alabama because we're going out with our base camp members Friday night. And then Saturday we're going to Alabama for a few days, and then this truck is going to get tucked away and the old square body is going to come out, and we're going to be rocking it for a little bit. So you'll see the square body coming up in the next few towing videos. If you're into that kind of thing, we can be friends. If you're not, well, there's always the next life. So, but yeah, outside of that, I mean, it's been a new truck and it's been a good truck. And you know, it's funny is like when I bought the white one, that was the first new diesel pickup truck I'd ever bought. And I thought, well, I'll buy this and that will be it. And honestly, we had that flapping noise with that one and we never could get it figured out. And I'll be honest with you, had I went to a different dealer, the one that I've been going to down in Franklin, Kentucky, they probably would have fixed it. They seem like they actually are a lot better than the one here in town. So I'm not gonna say who they are, they're just here in town. And I don't go there anymore because, well, they kind of suck. So I do think I messed up on this color.
No, I like the color. I know it gets dirty.
It's always dirty. And I wasn't gonna show this truck, and it's Saturday, but we've been busy. This truck was actually pretty clean up until yesterday. And then it rained just enough yesterday to make a mess out of everything. And now it's just kind of gross, and it's gonna rain tomorrow. So I'm like,
Kentucky pollen.
Yeah, so
unavoidable.
Yeah, this time of year it's rough. So, but I'll get it cleaned up before we go to Alabama. That coming up, which should be the video after this one, I think, is going to be awesome. And I'm not going to tell you where we're going, but I'm pretty excited about it. And we're going to hit some of you guys that complain about us of never going to these things. So just, oh, one thing they put on this truck from the factory, I want to show you this. Trying to be like Chevrolet. That thing here is as handy as a shirt pocket. It's awesome. So, and it's a factory option, so that's pretty cool. So,
I do want to say one thing in this video.
She says she wants to say one thing in this video.
Jeff's little handy wheel step is also a nice alternative. It's seen.
I have one in the garage. I've got to get it out and unbox it. I am considering getting rid of the bed cover, guys. And so I'm thinking about just going to a toolbox. So I can throw all my tools in my toolbox and just take some weight off the camper since I put all them batteries in it. Seems to be a contentious subject on YouTube these days.
I like the tape measure style bed cover.
Tape measure style.
Yeah, because like when you pull it and release it,
Is that an official term? One thing that I did that's pretty cool that somebody, I don't remember who told me to do this, is like I would always, when I park this thing, fold my mirrors in. But now they told me go in there and hit your settings. You can put them on auto, and they automatically go in. Kind of a cool option. Because when we were in, I think we were in Florida. I ran into Walmart maybe. We were somewhere and I ran in and somebody hit that mirror. Where was that at? Silver Springs.
oh, Ocala, yeah.
We were at Lowe's and I didn't shut the truck off because I let Valerie sit in it and somebody hit my mirror. And it was some pest control company. And honestly, it wasn't that big of a deal. So, and if you are curious, I'll show you this one last thing. This is not a factory option, but it adds character to it, and it would keep you from ever stealing my truck and trying to act like it's not my truck. This. It's kind of like Andy, or a Toy Story when Andy writes his name on his bottom of his toys.
Right.
I got a nick in my tailgate. If you're curious about what I did on that, check out this video right here. You'll see that I'm really not that smart. There you go. It's been a good truck. It's not let us down, and it doesn't flap. So that, to me, that was the biggest thing. My biggest upsells on this truck is really adaptive cruise control and the 8-speed transmission. Both way nicer than my other truck. And outside of that, fuel mileage is about the same. Seems like it burns a little less def, or maybe it's just got a bigger def tank, because it does have a bigger def tank. But outside of that, it's pretty much the same truck. So that's my update. Hope everyone's doing well. See you guys on our next adventure.